All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, who says that you can't go home? As after 2 years with the Milwaukee Bucks, All-Star guard Damian Lillard is returning to the Portland Trailblazers. So for all of those Blazer fans out there that had their Lillard jerseys and I guess figured that they were throwbacks at this point, guess what? You can break them out of the closet and you can wear them once again to Portland home games. But nonetheless, Lillard is in the midst of rehabbing from an Achilles injury that he suffered during the Bucks' first round playoff exit this past spring to the Indiana Pacers. Now, earlier this month, the Bucks announced that they were going to waive Lillard and eat the final year of his deal, which subsequently made Dame a free agent. Now, Lillard was going to have the opportunity to sit back and pick his next destination to play basketball. And, many people expected him to go out there and, try to get another shot for a championship. But at the end of the day, he decided to go back to the place where he has had the most success in the NBA. Now, Lillard is originally from Oakland, but he has made the city of Portland home. And even though that Lillard spent the last 2 years in Milwaukee, his family was still in the Pacific Northwest. Now, some people expected Dame to go out there and ring chase, okay? But at the end of the day, he clearly wanted to be where he was most comfortable. So, why didn't things work out for Dame in Milwaukee? And honestly, I'm here to say that it's not that they didn't work out, as it was more about him getting injured in each of the last two postseasons. And of course, subsequently, we don't know what could have potentially been for him and Giannis together with the Bucks. Now, make no mistake about it. When Dame is healthy, we are talking about one of the best scoring guards in the NBA. And his return to Portland is interesting and is also going to provide some more veteran leadership for this young Blazers team. And I'm going to circle back to that in a moment. But nonetheless, I truly do expect Damian Lillard to receive a hero's welcome upon his return to the Blazers lineup, because you remember a couple of seasons ago when he came back for the first time as a visitor, the folks in Portland welcomed him back with open arms. And we're talking about a guy in Dame who has arguably been the franchise's most impactful player since the days of Clyde the Glide Drexler. Okay. Now, there was and is mutual interest, a mutual admiration rather, between Dame, the Blazers franchise, the fans there, and the city of Portland as a whole. And for me, this is the equivalent, or the sports equivalent rather, to going back to your first love. Okay, because there's certain things you never forget. And from a sports standpoint, the team that drafted you, the team that brought you in, the team that made you the face of their franchise, you're not going to get that treatment anyplace else. Okay, and again, like I said before, this was all about comfort for Damian Lillard. The Blazers drafted him, and he morphed into one of the franchise's best players. I can't say this enough. Damian Lillard is back where he is most comfortable. And I know that there's going to be some people who are going to talk about him probably finishing his career without an NBA championship. Damian Lillard just basically said, screw the whole ring culture. Okay, that's it. And at the end of the day, some people are going to critique him, some people are going to applaud him. But at the end of the day, Damian Lillard has to do what is best for Damian Lillard and his family and his loved ones. And at the end of the day, this was comfort. He's back with his family. He's back in a city that he loves. He's back with a franchise that he loves, and the franchise loves him. And at the end of the day, Damian Lillard is going to finish more likely than not. He's going to finish his NBA career wearing the black and red of the Portland Trailblazers. So you ask yourself, was it the right move for him to go back to Portland? Listen, if it makes him happy, absolutely. And I'm not here to knock him for that because at the end of the day, you want to go someplace where you are happy. Because if you go someplace and you're happy, you're going to be comfortable there. So I look at Dame. We're talking about a guy who already owns most of the offensive stats for the Portland Trailblazers franchise. Nobody has scored more points in franchise history for Portland than Dame. And of course, when he does come back, he's going to be the first guy in Portland franchise history to score 20,000 points because when he left town, he was at 19,376. He's second all time in assists there. Okay, nobody's made more 3-point shots in Trailblazers franchise history than a Dame Lillard. So he's going back to where he's comfortable. And at the end of the day, he's going to finish his career there. But you look at Portland and you ask yourself, what is their plan? Because this offseason has been very, very interesting for the Blazers. Okay. They gave head coach Chauncey Billups an extension, in spite of the fact that in 4 years as Portland's head coach, the Blazers have not made the playoffs. They haven't even gotten to the play-in tournament. Okay. So Chauncey Billups got his extension. We saw Portland trade Anthony Simons to the Boston Celtics for Drew Holiday. And this is the same Drew Holiday that was traded for Damian Lillard a couple of years ago from Milwaukee. We saw Drew Holiday get traded from Milwaukee to Portland. Didn't really last there that long. He ended up in the Boston Celtics. And of course, he was able to help the C's win an NBA championship. So now you've got the two guys who were traded for each other on the same team. I don't think Drew Holiday is going to stay in Portland that long. I think he is going to be a very hot commodity on the trade front at some point. Nonetheless, Chauncey Billups got a 3-year deal. Pardon me, excuse me, not Chauncey Billups. Damian Lillard got a 3-year deal for $42 million. So basically, Portland got him on the cheap. Why? Because Milwaukee is paying him for the next couple of years. But you look at things, I really want to see where this Blazers franchise is going to go because they were 36-46 last year. They finished 3 games behind Dallas for the final play-in spot. So if you're Portland, you got to say, you know what can we do to get over that hump? You've got some young talent in your backcourt. You got Shadon Sharp. You also have Scoot Henderson, a guy who was taken in the first round the year that you traded Damian Lillard. Okay, so now you've got a young Scoot, and then you've also got a veteran Drew Holiday, and you've also got a veteran Damian Lillard. It's a logjam a little bit, if you will, in that backcourt in Portland. And of course, Damian Lillard, he's probably going to be back probably at some point during the second half of the season for the Blazers, and let's see what he can give them. But for Portland, they're going to lean on those young guys right there. They also bought out DeAndre Ayton as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Portland can truly find a way to take that next step and get some postseason action going in the Pacific Northwest. But nonetheless, this was interesting. Okay. And I'm not here to critique it because I thought that, maybe Dame, it didn't work out in Milwaukee and maybe he was going to sit back and take his time and maybe handpick his next team at some point during the season. Okay. But I think from an outsider's perspective, he's back home, he's rehabbing, and he's like, you know what? This is where I need to be. This is what makes me the happiest. And again, I am not knocking him for it. Okay. Like I said, some people get caught up in the whole ring culture, this, that, and the third. You've heard things from players, as far as some players, as far as how they feel about it. And again, like I said before, I'm not here to knock those guys. You have to do what makes you the happiest. You have to do what makes you the most comfortable. And for Damian Lillard, being back in Portland is what brings him the most comfort. At the end of the day, he's still and he's going to be remembered as one of the best players of this era. He's going to be remembered as one of the best players in Blazers franchise history. And barring something unforeseen, I don't see Lillard wearing another NBA uniform other than that of the Portland Trailblazers. Some feel like Dame should not have left 2 years ago. Some people felt that he should. Some people feel that Dame should have continued to go someplace else and look for a potential NBA championship. But he said, "Hey, I'm not here to ride anybody else's coattails. I want to do things on my terms." That's his prerogative, and people just need to respect it and support it. But nonetheless, Dame is back where he had his most success. And at the end of the day, who says that you can't go home? Because one person who definitely is not saying that is Damian Lillard. But folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank each and every one of you for checking out the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. And as always, if you like what you heard and saw on this podcast, you know what to do. Please feel free to hit that like button as well as subscribing to this channel. And like I always say, it is greatly appreciated. Also, if you are on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you give me that follow, I will give you that follow right back. The same can be said for Instagram, where you can check me out at 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge. Also, for all of you college football buffs out there, the start of a new season is right around the corner. We're basically about 5 weeks away. And with that said, starting on August 1st, I will be giving you my college football previews for the upcoming season. And with that said, my top 25, as well as a conference by conference breakdown, along with my projections for the college football playoff. Also, if you're on Facebook, you can check us out at the Sports Depot 365. And as far as I'm concerned, one of the better sports groups going on social media. But until next time, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off, and I'm saying thanks once again for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. Be well, everybody.